Microsoft Excel, basic information. When we look at this, we have the typical ribbons that all the Microsoft Office products have up top. Then in Excel, we have a couple other things. Right below there, we have one box that tells us the location of where our mouse is at. And right now it tells us that cell A1 is being selected. What does that mean, A1? Across the top, we have letters that are designating our columns, telling us which the column is, and then down the left-hand side are numbers numbering the rows. So we have rows with numbers, columns with letters. So this tells us that location A1 is selected. If I move the mouse over into the field here a little bit more, it tells me that I'm now selecting F6. So it just tells me the reference of where I'm at. It'll also give me a range number too. Next thing that I have is a formula bar, and we want to watch that formula bar for when we're actually putting formulas in. So let's go ahead and get started. Excel is just a big calculator. That's what we use to keep track of numbers and information. I put together a few simple little equations here to go ahead and demonstrate how to use formulas with the different functions that are pretty standard and typical. I've thrown some numbers on here to just go in and do some formulas on. The order of operations that we do things in are in this order. We always want to do the parentheses first, but then after parentheses we do squared, square root, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Excel does things in that order. So let me show you how to do these different things here. When I go to square something, first thing I'm going to do is go over here, and in this cell I'm actually going to perform the functions that are listed over here to the left. So I'm going to do a squared function on the number 10. So rather than typing in the number 10, I'm going to generate a formula and click on the reference of cell B3 to use that in my formulas. Whenever I want to start a formula, I hit the equals key. That tells Excel that we're going to be doing a formula. In here, I click on the cell number that I want, not typing in the number. I'm going to hit Shift, and that's Shift number 6, and we call this a caret, and then I'm going to say square this, and I press Enter, and 10 times 10 should be 100. So there we go. I'm going to just make these center justified. Okay. Well, what if I wanted to do something to different power than squared? That would be an exponent. So I could take 10, and I could go Shift again, number 6, and then type in to the third power, and that should give us 10 to the third power. So whatever power I want to do that to, I use the Shift number 6 key, giving me the caret, and then put that in there for the power that I want. Next, I want to do a square root. I'm going to square root 100. To get that started, again, I hit the equals key to get a formula started. And in Excel, we use the letters SQRT to get us going in there. Whoa. Microsoft Excel. Basic information on Excel. First thing is part of the Microsoft Office pack, which is now called Microsoft 365. We have the typical ribbons that are up top here, and this is showing us our basic information for the home ribbon. Next thing I do is come down here, and I have a box here that tells me location of where I'm at. Right now it's saying that the location of E3 is selected. I can also move it anywhere else, and it will show me that I'm now selected in A1. We have letters going across the top of the columns, and then we have numbers going down the left-hand side. Now the interesting thing is, on the letters, you would think you'd run out of letters at 26, but what we start doing is just doubling up the letters. So we would have AA, AB, AC, and so on like that. All right, with that basic navigation under control, the other thing that we want to talk about is we do have a formula bar up here too. That'll tell us what we're typing in any one of the cells that we go into. So I'm going to go in here and look at the different functions that we have mathematically for Excel formulas. Now, after parentheses, we do things in this order. We do squared, or we'd say exponents, square roots, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. This is the order of operations that we do math in, and that's the way that Excel will run things. All right, getting started. Let's do something here with square root. Let's see how that works out. To start a formula in Excel, we hit the equals key. That gets us into beginning of a formula. I'm not going to type in the number 10. I'm actually going to go over and click on the cell that has the number. Then I'm going to hit Shift and the number 6, and that'll give me the caret sign. And I put in 2 to square this. 10 times 10 should be, yes, 100. If I want to do a different exponent, let's say that I want to do something to the third power. I'm going to hit equals to get the formula started. Click on B3, and then go Shift number 6. And put that into the third power, and there we go, 10,000. So we can put in whatever number we want there to that power, and here, just for fun, I can even go in here and do one here that says equals B3. I'm going to go up here and say to 1 power, and obviously that's going to give us 10. So anyway, we can play around with that a little bit. Moving on to square root. On the square root, I'm going to hit equals to start a formula. Then I type in SQRT, and if you look, you can see a box or starting to come up of different formulas. If you double click on the one that is your formula, it'll start actually laying out some of the formatting for us. When we start using formulas in Excel that are beyond some of our simple mathematical functions, we're going to want to put the information into parentheses. So SQRT is for square root. I'm going to find the square root of the number 100. I click on that. I close my parentheses, press enter, and it gives me the information. Pretty simple. If I go over here to multiplication, very easy. I go equals. I'm going to take 4, and for multiplication we use an asterisk inside of Excel, times whatever is in cell C5. If you look up here at the formula bar, it's doing the same thing that we're seeing down on the screen here. So I press enter, and it gives me the results. Okay, moving quickly on to division. If I want to do a division problem, start the formula with equals. Here we go. I'm going to take 1,315, 1,350, and to divide I use the /, and then I type in or click in the cell that I want to divide that by, and there we go. Division, addition, pretty simple on that one. Equals to get started here. I click on the cell for 15. I hit the plus sign on the keyboard, click in the next number, and there we go. And subtraction is just as easy. Hit equals to start the formula. I click on the cell B8 and tell it to use the subtract sign, negative sign, and click on C8, press enter, and there we go. And I'm going to back up here to this one here. If you look, I put a formula in here, AutoSum. We do a lot of adding in Excel, so I'm just going to show you how to use that. If I type in the formula equals AutoSum, or sum, there we go. Summing is adding things up, and then I can just select the range of numbers, close it with parentheses, and there we go. It adds those up. Now, a faster way to do that, if I delete that formula out of there, a faster way to do that is I just hit Alt equals, and it automatically selects the range closest to it. So there we go. Doing the order of operations, we do parentheses first, exponents, square roots, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. It's a little bit of basic information on using